Hey guys! So, Warner Brothers recently dropped a new trailer to Fantastic Beasts: Secrets of Dumbledore.
You do know I'm a witch, right?
Dumbledore asked that I give you something, Jacob.
And with that release, we have a huge reveal to something that we should have known for a long time. And that is that Jacob Kowalski is a goddamn wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Let's go. So in the new trailer to Secrets of Dumbledore, we see Jacob being handed a wand by Newt, apparently on Dumbledore's orders. And this is extremely interesting because according to wizarding lore, wands aren't really magical objects in and of themselves.
Speak his name. The wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter. It's not always clear why.
Wands are merely conduits of magical energy, and in the hands of a non-magical person, should basically not do anything. And so, is there a chance that Jacob is actually being magical this entire time? And that's something I've been thinking of since all the way back in Crimes of Grindelwald. When we're first introduced to the character of Jacob Kowalski, we find out that he is a Muggle. But the thing that's interesting about this is that he is an American Muggle, and therefore, if he had been magical, would go to school Ilvermorny as opposed to Hogwarts. Now, America has much stricter rules and regulations against the interactions between Muggles and wizards, and they have a much more strict sense of segregation.
That you're not meant to befriend them, that you can't marry them, which seems mildly absurd to me.
Who's gonna marry him?
Why is it wrong to want to marry you? To want to have a family?
But how exactly do the American wizards know the difference between a wizard and a Muggle in America? In the UK, Hogwarts uses two magical objects known as the Quill of Acceptance and the Book of Admittance in order to determine who has magical ability. These are ancient magical artifacts that can detect magic, especially in children, and writes those names into the Book of Admittance into Hogwarts. On the other hand, these are unique one-of-a-kind magical items, and America doesn't have access to them, so the way they figure out who has magical ability needs to be completely different. And therefore, it's completely possible that they may have missed that Jacob Kowalski was in fact a Muggleborn. And while there have been a few times where Jacob has demonstrated that he may not be magical at all,
What, ain't you ever seen a house elf before?
No, of course I have. I love house elves. My uncle's a house elf.
for example, when he gets bitten by the Murtlap, or when he appears to not be able to see Hogwarts at the end of Crimes of Grindelwald, there are definitely some times where he shows that he has magical abilities. In fact, canonically, him not being able to see Hogwarts at the end of Crimes of Grindelwald doesn't even make sense, because Muggles can actually see Hogwarts. Hogwarts to Muggles just appears as a ruin, with the signs, danger, beware, in order to keep people out. But back in Crimes of Grindelwald, there is an unmistakable sign that Jacob might actually be a wizard. And this occurs when he's at Nicholas Flamel's house. It's while Jacob is at Flamel's house, Flamel is using what appears to be a crystal ball in order to determine what's going to happen.
I've seen one of these before. It was at the fair. There was this dame there, and she had a veil, and I gave her a nickel, and she told me about my future. And she missed out on quite a bit, actually.
And while looking into this crystal ball, Jacob determines that what's going to happen is going to be at the Lestrange family tomb. And the reason why this is interesting is because Jacob is supposed to be a Muggle. Crystal balls in the Wizarding world can pretty much only be used by seers, and seers is a specific group of magical people that have the second sight.
You must broaden your minds. First, you must look beyond.
And the reason why this is important is because it is very specifically a magical gift. Only wizards and witches can actually be seers. So canonically, Jacob being able to see anything in this crystal ball doesn't make sense. To him, it should just look like swirling fog or possibly nothing. Instead, he can fully see what's in this crystal ball. Now, you could possibly say that this is just nothing more than a continuity error and a choice made on the sense of the movie. But J.K. Rowling is actually the one writing these movies, and it wouldn't make sense for her to forget this crucial fact about how divination works in the wizarding world. And now, in the Secrets of Dumbledore trailer, we can see Jacob definitively using a wand to produce magic. And while it is possible that this is some sort of enchanted wand that Dumbledore gave Jacob so that he could do magic, it would make far, far more sense to realize that Jacob was simply a Muggleborn who was born in America and was never recognized because he wasn't particularly magical. This could even explain why Jacob is seen in the Great Hall at the end of the first trailer, because after all, as a Muggle, he shouldn't really be able to see Hogwarts or even really get into it. So I think it makes far more sense for us to discover that Jacob actually just has magical abilities, but I guess we'll see when the movie comes out. Anyways guys, that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.